I just got back from the midnight showing of Saw 5, and I have to review it before I go to sleep because I'm still excited about it. But I just want to let you guys know that the first half of this review is going to have no spoilers at all, so you don't have to worry about it being ruined for you. And the second half of this video is going to have spoilers, but I will warn you beforehand so you can close out of the video, and then after you see Saw 5, you can come back and watch the spoilers. Also, be very wary of the comments underneath the video. I would suggest that if you haven't seen Saw 5, you shouldn't go to the comments because people are going to be commenting about the ending and stuff. So if you haven't seen Saw 5, don't check out the comments on this video either. So hopefully you got all that. Now let's talk about Saw 5. Now some of you might not know this, but I was extremely excited about Saw 5. Okay, all of you knew that, obviously. So I was, really hyped up and excited to see it. And I have to say that it was definitely better than Saw 4. Not exactly what I was expecting, but it was still really, really, really good. And it's just made me really, really excited for Saw 6. Now, there were two plots going on in this movie. One of them was great, and the other one was completely irrelevant as far as I can tell. The great plot was with Hoffman tying up all his loose ends and stuff, and the irrelevant plot was with 5 random strangers, kind of like in Saw 2, who, have to go through these traps and stuff, but I totally missed how it tied into the movie at all, and I'm pretty sure that's because it didn't tie into the movie at all. So that was really bizarre, and I didn't care about the characters at all because they weren't, introduced well, really. So it was just really, really strange, but luckily, Hoffman's story was really, really, really awesome, and it totally made up for that, so that's okay. Of course, as everyone knows, the tagline of Saw 5 was, "You won't believe how it ends." And I guess that's sort of true, because I sure didn't see the end coming. I'm not going to spoil it, don't worry. But the end was really, the Saw movies are known for their big twist endings and stuff, but I thought that the best part of Saw 5 was the storyline, like in general, everything leading up to the ending. The ending was not, crazy shocking or anything like usual. It was not a huge Saw twist moment. So, that was a little surprising, I guess. That's not to say that the ending wasn't good, because it really was, but it was not exactly what I was expecting, and seriously, everything leading up to the end was better than the ending, which is still good because the movie was good. Saw 5 left like no closure at all at the end of the movie, and it pretty much just left the door wide open for Saw 6, which obviously is already scheduled to come out next year. So, we knew it was coming and everything, but man, oh man, it really left the door open. It didn't even, try to close it at all. Like, the wind isn't going to blow it open or anything. It's just open. But like I said, the plot of Hoffman and everything, that was really, really awesome, and it fit very well into the Saw series in my opinion, so congratulations to the writers for that. But I'll smack them in the face for the other irrelevant plotline. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. It was pretty much just an excuse to put traps in the movie because it was literally completely irrelevant. But whatever, like I said, I love the Hoffman storyline, so, I guess it balances out. David Hackl directed this movie, and it was his first time directing a movie, I think, in general, but definitely his first time directing a Saw movie. And Darren Bousman had done the Saw movies, directing them from 2 through 4, and then, of course, James Wan did the first one. And, man, David Hackl showed how bad Darren Bousman was getting when he got to Saw 4, because Saw 4, like, the directing and everything was really, really bad. It was too fast-paced, everything was just really bad about that. But the directing in Saw 5 is very much more like Saw 1, in the sense that it's calm, it's understandable, you can actually figure out what the hell is going on without researching and watching it like 5 times, like you had to with Saw 4. So, in that sense, like I said, Saw 5 is definitely a lot better than Saw 4. And, of course, congratulations to David Hackl, because he did an excellent job. The acting in the Hoffman plot with Hoffman, Strahm, Jigsaw, all of them, was fantastic, of course. I don't know, what would you expect. So that was great. But in the irrelevant plot, all of the women in it, because there's like 2 guys and 3 girls, they were god-awful. Like, it was harder to stomach their acting than it was to stomach the gore in Saw 5. And there really wasn't that much gore in Saw 5 to begin with. It really was probably the least gory of all the movies, as far as I can tell. But, the gore really wasn't that bad at all. But really, honestly, the acting was, like, hard to watch. Like, I wanted to just look away and be like, God, they suck, but I had to keep watching. So, luckily the 2 guys that were in it actually were really, really, really good, so they made up for it. They balanced out the crappy girls. Visually, the movie was fantastic. Like I said, David Hackl did a great job with that, and it definitely was one of the better-looking Saw movies. Lighting, just that whole everything. It just looked a lot better than Saw 4. But the only complaint that I have is actually a really huge complaint, and it kind of screwed things up a little bit. Basically, the opening title sequences, like when it says the, directed by, that whole thing, and then it says Saw 5, Saw 4, whatever. In all the previous movies, it was the nice little, almost elegant and classy sort of, it just says it, like in the letters going across, it just says Saw 4, Saw 3, whatever. In Saw 5, it was an extremely cheesy as hell, like, really bad title slide. And, like, it said Saw, and then all of a sudden, like, the 5 came in and, like, slammed into the Saw and, like, went behind it. And it just looked really, really lame, like a really cheesy horror movie. And not even a horror movie, it was like a superhero movie or something like that. I don't even know, but it was really lame. And luckily, that doesn't affect the plot or anything like that, so it's not a huge deal, and I'm just whining about it. But it still was really weird, because now what are they going to do in Saw 6? If they go back to the old thing, it's just randomly stops in Saw 5 and then goes back to normal. I don't know. But whatever, like I said, it's really not that important. It's just something that kind of irritated me at the time. Oh, and another thing that I have to say that irritated me, this is going back to the acting, was Strom. He kept, like, speaking the plot of the movie out loud, like, as though it wasn't understandable. Like, the writers realized, like, man, this is not really understandable, people aren't gonna get it, let's just have Strom explain it. Like, he was like talking to himself and like explaining things out loud, and you know, it was a little bit awkward to see that, because it was like, why is he talking, there's nobody there. I mean, you know, I know they do that in movies sometimes, but it was just weird. So that was just the only other thing that kind of irritated me, you know, but still didn't affect the plot. But all in all, Saw 5 was definitely a great movie. It was definitely a lot better than Saw 4, like I said. It was maybe just slightly under Saw 3, and, you know, which is good, because Saw 3 was fantastic. So it's slightly under Saw 3, I guess, and it was very good. But most likely, the general public, which is, you know, the majority of people, will hate this movie because they don't understand that the story is still being told and that it's being left open for Saw 6. So they're going to think that, you know, like, this might be the last movie, and they're going to say it sucks and all that stuff. But, you know, us smart people, all the people that look into the movie, we know the truth. It'll finish up in Saw 6, so everything's good. I hope. No, but seriously, hopefully they do tie everything up in Saw 6, and they have, you know, like, a legitimate story and everything, because I think Saw 6 is going to be the last one. To keep dragging it on would really just ruin the series, so hopefully they stop at Saw 6, and they make it, you know, like, a real awesome finish. So that's it for the non-spoiler part. I'm going to start talking about spoilers from the movie, like the ending and just, you know, stuff that happens. So if you have not seen Saw 5, please close out of the video right now. Go watch something else. Go watch Saw 4 again, I don't care. Or go watch Saw 5 and then come right back here and watch the spoiler section. Whatever you do, if you haven't seen Saw 5, just close out of the video right now. Okay, by now, anyone that hasn't seen Saw 5 should be gone, so let's talk about it. And also, apparently Saw 5 was rated R for, one reason was for partial nudity. I don't think I fell asleep or anything, but there was no nudity in Saw 5 anywhere, as far as I can tell. You know, can someone explain that to me in the comments maybe and tell me where there was nudity? I totally missed it. Not that I'm saying that I was hoping for it or anything, but it's just a little bizarre. So yeah, if you know where the nudity was, let me know, because I actually am interested to find out. Some people are confused of whether or not Perez is dead, Agent Perez. She is apparently dead, even though they didn't show her picture when they were showing, like, Detective Matthews and Rigg and all them. She's not one of them. She's FBI, so they wouldn't have showed her picture there. She's not part of them. But apparently, she did die overnight while they were in the hospital. And the last two things, really, that I want to talk about are kind of things that I think are unexplained at the moment. What was the deal with the note that was left on Hoffman's desk that said, "I know who you are"? Who was that supposed to be from? Strom or, like, Jill? If you guys, you know, if I missed something, please let me know, because I don't know what the hell happened there. And the second thing is, they were in a fully furnished version of the Saw 2 house, weren't they? Or was I going insane? I know it was late, but I was fully awake for this whole thing. They were definitely walking around, and by they I mean Erickson and Strom. Yeah, I think it was Strom. Yeah, Erickson and Strom. They were walking around in the Saw 2 house, but it was fully furnished, and I mean, like, what was that all about? I have no idea what the hell I was watching there. If that is also something that's unexplained, then I guess we'll just have to wait and find out in Saw 6. But I really want to know, so if you know, let me know. And that's really all I have to say about Saw 5, because, you know, there's still stuff being figured out. But for the most part, I got the gist of it. It wasn't as confusing as Saw 4 was, which was, you know, thank God, because Saw 4 was really damn confusing. And, you know, in the comments, I want you guys to let me know what you thought of the movie. Be honest, you know, if you really didn't like it, let me know. If you really loved it, let me know. And, you know, I'll accept anybody's opinions, because I can understand both ways why people would hate it and why people would like it. So, like I said, let me know in the comments what you thought, video responses, whatever you want to do. And for those of you who will probably ask me, I will, of course, be doing all of the coverage for Saw 6 when it gets closer next year. Alright, I really have to go get some sleep now, so, you know, just comment and everything, do what you gotta do, and, that's pretty much it.